Welcome back to Ssempa 360. I'm with my man James Onan, otherwise known as the Fat Boy. He's a producer, radio personality, 88.2 Shanyo FM. He's also the leader of the Atheists United. Or Free Kampala's Free. Is it Uganda Free Thinkers?
No, I'm a member of Free Thought Kampala.
I mean, I like the way you guys were atheists hide yourselves, free thinkers. I mean, why don't you just take off the free thing? You're just atheists. You don't believe in God.
And a free thinker. I'm an atheist.
Does it have a social stigma that you have to hide it?
No, I make no secret of the fact that I'm an atheist. Anyone who knows me knows that I am an atheist.
Why don't you call it Atheists United?
Because they're two different things. You see, because I don't promote atheism per se. What I promote is critical thinking. Okay, which is one of the foundations of free thought.
No, now, you don't promote critical thinking.
Yes,
I saw your poster. God doesn't exist, so go ahead and enjoy your life.
No, that was
critical thinking.
That was a picture.
That's hedonism.
It was a picture of a billboard on a bus, a banner on a bus.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I posted it on my website.
And you are repeating it. Just go ahead and do what you do. God, there's no judgment there.
You see, critical thinking doesn't mean saying something that's right or wrong. Critical thinking, it's about the method you use to arrive at the conclusions you reach at. And if there are those that disagree with you, they too can challenge you using the same methods of logic and reason.
You sit on your pulpit every day on Shanyo FM and you spew out all this anti-God, freak.
No.
You don't have a substantive someone to challenge those arguments of yours. Don't you think that in the area of contestation, because democracy requires solid contestation?
Absolutely. But the thing is, on my radio show, I honestly go out of my way to not talk about atheism per se. There are some topics that are pertinent to issues of spirituality. So let's say, for example, a pastor has swindled someone of a car because he had promised a miracle. At that point, I can comment and say, maybe people need to think more critically. Don't just believe what pastors say. Is there evidence for this stuff? And things like that. I'm not out there telling people to be atheists. I'm just, at least on the radio, I'm only telling people to think critically.
But maybe on your podcasts?
Sorry?
On your podcast?
On my podcast, I express my personal views.
Which is?
And I invite people
to
believe
whatever
whatever they want to believe based on their own
Don't you think you're leading so many thousands of young people to hell?
Well, it's my belief that there is no such thing as a hell.
How do you know there's no hell?
How do you know there is?
Because the Bible says so.
Who wrote the Bible?
God.
Does God write books?
He inspired men.
So men wrote the Bible.
Receiving by the Spirit of God.
Well,
and these were compiled into 62 books by a process called a canonization.
You know what's so funny, Pastor Ssempa?
No.
It's because the Quran was written by Prophet Muhammad, who his adherents tell us was inspired by Allah to write those words. And yet, strangely, you don't seem to believe in the Quran and you're not a Muslim. Regardless of whether or not there is a book out there of which it is claimed that the author was divinely inspired. So if you don't believe the Quran, even if it has a divine origin, why should I believe the Bible, yet you too are saying it has a divine origin? To me, it's all the same thing. It's unprovable. You can't know. And in my opinion, I think religion is a product of man.
What to you would actually be substantive evidence? Creation doesn't speak to you, apparently?
No. Evidence, okay, if you want me to become a Christian today.
The intricacies of your brain.
No, let me tell you.
The intricacies of your brain.
Let me tell you something. If you want me to be a Christian today, bring here an amputee. Let's go on Kampala Road and get those guys with leprosy who don't have hands and legs. Pray for him. Let's see those arms and legs grow back. If you do that and the arms and legs do grow back after you pray, I'll be with you in church on Sunday.
I want to tell you, your brain is even more a miracle than somebody growing an arm.
Show me an amputee who gets his legs back.
Let me bring it to you.
It's not a miracle.
I want to put it to you that your brain, just your own brain, or even, we're talking about sex tapes. Okay? Somebody just sent me the amount of information that is stored in man's sperms, okay? The fertility fluids, the amount of information which is exchanged is incredible.
Yeah.
Now, For you
Quite
not
impressive.
to appreciate the complexity of creation.
But I do appreciate
and know
it.
that
And
there's an intelligent designer
I understand
who has
how
set
it came
aside that there's a
about.
judgment day.
I understand how it came about. It came about through evolution and natural selection. It is not through any intelligent design.
So some big stone exploded and the explosion created intelligent design?
Matter and energy. The second law of thermodynamics states that
Show me
matter and
chaos.
energy
Show
cannot be
me
created or
anytime.
destroyed in a closed
Show
system.
me
It
any
simply
time
changes
where
form.
confusion gave birth to order.
Where confusion gave birth to
Order. Yeah.
It happens all the time.
Where?
Because you are a very confused man, but somehow
No,
you're able to
I'm
construct a sentence that makes sense.
I am just wondering
Order
what you're
from
gonna,
confusion.
What you gonna do on Judgment Day, James Onan, when you come before God and He says to you, James Onan,
So let me ask
let's take a look at your books.
so why aren't you a Muslim?
You want to know why I'm not a Muslim?
Yeah.
You should invite me to a long speech.
No, tell me why you're not a Muslim, because the Quran too prescribes punishments for those that don't adhere to the
And
tenets
you
of
will be
Islam.
happy to know that I have so many similarities with Muslims. We have a similar
But if
heritage
is-
of Muhammad.
but if Islam-
Excuse me, we have a similar heritage of Muhammad. We have the same legal code. We are against homosexuality. We are for marriage as man and woman.
Yes,
And-
but-
and we are
but-
for a moral code of order.
But
and
Muslims
we have
do
a-
not view
we
Jesus
all
as
believe-
God.
No,
You do.
No, they believe that Jesus is going to come back.
They
on
do not
Judgment
believe.
Day.
But you
So,
worship Jesus
me and the
as
Muslim-
God, don't you?
Me and the Muslims are waiting.
Answer the question.
On Judgment
To you,
Day,
Jesus is God. Yes or no?
On
Part of a
judgment-
Trinity.
on judge-
Yes or
on
answer the
judge-
question.
No, let me. We do a judgment.
And if the
Day.
answer is yes, which you know it is, it means that you're contradicting what is written in the Quran, and hell shall be your home.
We're talking about Judgment Day.
And yet you're not a Muslim.
So for you, Judgment Day is a bad idea.
What I'm saying is what I've told you many times. Religion is man-made.
Do you ever wake up and when you're in trouble? What do you do when you're in trouble?
I deal with it the way most people do.
That is.
I have a drink, usually whiskey, it helps. Think about it. I go to bed, I wake up tomorrow, and I deal with, and I continue living my life.
There's a new one called Coke. Coke G.
Essentially, I think about my
So you-
problems, all right?
you-
And I try and
you
find,
take a drink.
I find a practical solution to my problems, because praying about a problem doesn't solve it.
Of
You will
course.
still have that problem
Of
even
course.
if you pray.
That's why
you,
the
you
Bible-
still have to think
that's why God
about a
says
solution.
Faith without works is quite dead. When I'm sick, I pray, I go get the best treatment.
Yeah.
But I want to come back to you. How can an intelligent person, and it baffles me, intelligent, who sees all this evidence in front of them about an intelligent design, whether it's in astronomy,
I don't see that
whether
evidence.
it's in
It's
biology,
projection on your
and
part.
you keep saying some.
It's projection on your part. Religion is nothing but a placeholder for human ignorance. When we don't understand how something came to be, we look to religion to fill it.
But most of the scientific
blank.
discoveries
get
that
what I'm
have
saying?
been made, and most of them have been made by believers.
That's not the problem.
Yes.
I'm not saying
in fact,
believers.
In fact, the belief in science enables, in God, enables scientists because they know the
It doesn't.
established laws.
It
There's
doesn't.
a law of gravity.
It doesn't.
There's the third law of thermodynamics. It is not some capricious world out there which is
what
out
I'm
of
saying
control.
is, you see, but it's our scientific knowledge has grown exponentially, but also it has been a gradual process where each day we keep learning something new. All right, and this requires for us to just be open-minded and follow the evidence.
Was it embarrassing to you that an
It
atheist...
so happens that scientists who are believers,
Is it embarrassing
like
to you
Charles Darwin,
that
found that actually animals share a common ancestor.
Actually, Charles Darwin,
Charles Darwin is a believer.
and his evolution.
He was an ordained priest.
His evolution. He was not as
Darwin
out
is a
as
man
you.
of God.
But I want to come back to you. Does it embarrass you because you guys have always said religion is the root of violence? Just a few days ago,
I don't say that.
some atheists shot 3 Muslims in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Does it bother you that atheists are now shooting and this whole lie that religion is the mother of all wars, totally untrue? Looking at the Khmer Rouge in Cambodia, who killed millions of people, and other atheists. And now they're shooting. These atheists are shooting, quote unquote, believers.
So one
Does it embarrass you?
No.
He's a free thinker shooting people.
Wait, so one atheist shoots 3 guys and this is a crisis? Like I'm supposed to be like, oh my God, what's this?
So you don't think it should make you change the statement that you've always been singing, religion is the source of violence, violent people?
The thing is, when you want to look at scales of violence and justifications that people give for violence, because I know that the atheist who shot those 3 Muslim students, I know that he didn't kill himself. He's still alive. He's in custody. So over time, we're probably going to understand his motives. On the surface, it looks as if it arose from a dispute over parking. I'm not yet sure if that's the case. We'll see, learn more as it
tells us a lot about what ticks off.
Listen, it's a matter of
atheists.
I think it's a human thing more than an atheist.
Over parking tickets.
So, for example, so what? So Christians who shoot people on the street, I should immediately conclude that it's because
I don't know. I would actually go by what case it is.
Huh?
But we're talking about Khmer Rouge in Cambodia. You're talking about this non-religious who killed more than 4 million people, especially the educated people with glasses like me. Okay, if you have glasses, he'll go after you. He was a free thinker.
That's terrible. You know, I think.
In fact, if you put together all the people that have been killed, whether by Lenin, Stalin, Cambodia, killing field, you will find that the millions of people that were killed compared to those who were killed in religious wars, this is too many. In fact,
those people were not killed. They were not killed by atheism. They were killed by statism. Statism meaning
which was driven by atheism.
No. You can be a statist and you can be. Have you not heard of a theocracy before? Theocrats are statists out and out. It's just that the foundations for their statism arises from.
Are you embarrassed about that fact? Because you always throw this out of religious people and everything.
I mean, if I have never denied that an atheist is capable of doing terrible things, just like a person of any denomination.
That's true.
What's the big mystery?
Let's talk about sex tapes. Sex tapes have taken over the city of Kampala. Are these the fruits of the many years of sexual bombardment using sexual gratuitous music that you've been playing?
Well, I don't think so. I think this is people in the privacy of their rooms trying to take their kinkiness up to a higher level. And so they whip out their phones and they start recording. And this is, I'm referring to the cases in which it's voluntary on both parts, where the person being recorded is aware that
like Chris Mubiru's video?
From what I saw of Chris Mubiru's videos, it looked as if the subject was not aware that it was being recorded.
Are you saying that most of these videos are they have people participate together, or it's
It depends.
secret?
Okay, so for example, in the case of Desire, clearly she was aware that she was being photographed. I haven't seen a video for Desire, I've only seen pictures. In the case of Zari, it's not clear to me that she was aware, because the footage is captured from a computer screen from the other end. So whoever is viewing the Skype video footage on the other end is recording that with his phone, I think.
What do people think? What are these people thinking?
So she wouldn't be aware that he was recording it.
But are they making commercial gains out of this? I mean, some of this, I mean, Kim Kardashian type, this is like the cheap popularity. I show you my privates, okay, I make my privates public, then I get money and popularity. Don't you think what's going on?
It's hard to tell. I mean, I really have no idea. But for the most part, I think, at least in the case of the Desire leakage, I think that was a disgruntled boyfriend who was.
So if you are not a parent, are you? You have a kid?
No.
Okay. But if you have kids, what would you think of setting some rules about the use of technology?
No. Absolutely not. I don't believe in laws for solving social problems.
Yeah.
I believe in education and instilling of values. And if I do have a child, it's the approach I'll take, which is to instill values in the minds of my children and expect that these values will carry them through life, so that if they encounter a questionable situation, the values that I've instilled in them will inform their actions. They'll be like, you know what? No, my dad told me that I shouldn't do that because I value myself.
So you don't want to create boundaries?
I don't want there to be, I don't think laws do anything.
Like for you, like it's no bedtime?
No what?
There'll be no bedtime?
For the children?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, certainly. I think.
I mean, you're
bedtime.
saying you don't have laws. You just say
When I say
value-
laws, state-enforced laws.
Oh no, I'm talking about in my house. Okay, television is at this time.
What would-
We don't
what
have
would you
to watch
propose-
this program.
so what are you gonna tell your teenager?
The use of the
I got-
the cell phone.
What do you have in mind?
Cell phones in my house are off at night.
Okay, fine, but
9:30.
Sure.
Cell phone is off.
you know what? That's fine. But when you say, it sounded to me like you wanted there to be laws in place to deal with these sort of sex tapes that come out.
Oh yeah.
So because I don't, even if you are a concerned parent telling your kids to not have their phones on after 9, the next time they are with their partners, those that are old enough to be in relationships, you can't guarantee that they won't whip out their phones and start recording.
That's fine, but for you, you don't think that what Father Lokodo is doing, the anti-pornography law, is good? Are you one of those?
It's a waste of time. I mean,
Really?
it's an absolute waste of time. You just drive this stuff underground and people are going to continue to do it.
But that's where it belongs.
What, underground?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the thing is,
Deviance, obscenities, lewd, those kind of, they do not belong in civilized society. That's why I'm so glad. 50 Shades of Grey, shady stuff doesn't
Well,
have to
I think
belong in
if
the
I were-
public space.
if I were
it needs to be underground.
if I were the producers of 50 Shades of Grey, I would come to meet you and to shake your hand for advertising my movie. Because now a lot of people are interested to see what was so bad about this movie that prompted it to be banned from screening in theaters. And so
That's
so and
that
once
is negative
once
theological thinking.
once
So
it's
you are
available
saying,
in a
don't
digital,
say no, because if you say no, it's going to be so powerful.
yeah,
No.
because you see the problem with moral reactionaries like yourself, Pastor Ssempa and
It's not
and
reactionaries.
Father Lokodo,
It's
and everyone
ru-
like you.
this is
the
rule of
problem is
law.
you end up
This
all
is
you
rule of law.
do is to try to fight symptoms
You don't want
rather than the
law.
cause.
You want anarchy. You want social anarchy.
The thing is, you're misplacing the responsibility for these things.
I put it to you that you make a living out of playing some of the music and having this course conversation, that if the law really beat down, you'll be out of a job. I want to take a break. Yeah.
Free
We're gonna-
speech,
we're
baby.
gonna-
Free speech.
We're going to be back after this. We're going to find out maybe the reason why my guest is afraid of the anti-pornography law, because it may bite so hard he may be out of a job. Stay with us on Ssempa 360.